minute. Like a rocket launch. Like, yeah. 1 minute. Thanks, Sydney. Right, so we'll go ahead and begin. This is the Cottonwood Heights Administrative Hearing on Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. I am Jim Spung, the Administrative Hearing Officer. We'll go ahead and begin with item number 1.1. This is project CUP 26009. Emma, if you want to go ahead and present.
Perfect. Okay. So yes, this is the administrative hearing. So the first project is going to be CUP 26009. The applicant is Stephanie Van Drimmelen, and she's also the property owner as part of the Van Drimmelen Residence Trust. The request is for a conditional use wall height extension. The location is going to be 6769 Walker Mill Drive, and then the staff recommendation is to approve with conditions. We've included an aerial view of the property. As some background context, the HOA adjacent to the subject property is currently in the process of selling approximately 30 feet of existing common area land located immediately east of the subject property as part of a lot line adjustment. The applicant is proposing to construct an 8-foot fence along the proposed new eastern property line and portions of the northern and southern property lines. The increased fence height is requested to improve safety and privacy from the adjacent HOA-owned tennis/pickleball court. Due to the higher elevation of the HOA common area, the applicant states that a standard 6-foot fence would not adequately screen views or mitigate noise impacts. This is the proposed Trex fence design. And then Cottonwood Heights fencing code does allow a maximum height of 8 feet in any zone as a conditional use and up to 12 feet as a conditional use with neighbor consent. As this proposal is just requesting 8 feet, neighbor consent was not required. There's no public comments that were received. And just as a quick staff analysis, the applicant is already in the process of working with the city on a lot line adjustment, which is LLA 26002. That's currently out for correction, so we're working with them on getting that completed. The subject property directly abuts an HOA-owned sports court, as mentioned, which is an active recreational use that generates activity, noise, and visual impacts not typically associated with adjoining residential properties. So this adjacency does create a unique site condition impacting the property, which would be mitigated by an increased fence height. So staff finds that the increased fence height proposed by the applicant is a reasonable privacy enhancement that would mitigate noise and screen views from the adjacent sports court. Staff recommends to approve this with conditions. The recommended conditions of approval just would be that they obtain a building permit and all necessary inspections, that a building permit will clearly state the materials, design, and shall not exceed a total height of 8 feet from the natural grade, and that the lot line adjustment should be approved before the approval of a building permit. There's that.
All right, thank you, Emma. I'd like to invite the applicant up if you guys want to say anything.
Okay, well,
So just, if you can just state your name for the record and then just speak into the microphone.
Stephanie Van Drimmelen. So, and then the next parcel, it would be our neighbor, and that 8-foot fence along their line is just about grade as well. because we're down low and they are too. So
Okay.
do I need to add anything else? It was a very comprehensive PowerPoint.
Yeah. Emma's great. So, okay, thank you. All right, so this item was noticed as a public hearing, so I'll go ahead and open the public hearing for anyone that wishes to comment on this application. Did we receive any comments from staff?
No, you didn't
Okay.
receive anything.
Right. Go ahead and close the public hearing. So yeah, I think Emma did a great job of presenting this information. I don't have any additional questions or concerns with the proposal. So I move to approve item CUP-26-009 pursuant to the conditions of approval outlined in the staff report. So with that, we will move to item 1.2 on the agenda, project CUP 26-010.
Okay, and I'll move through this one a lot faster because it's, as mentioned, it's a very similar project. So this is CUP 26010. The applicant is also Stephanie, but the property owner is their neighbors. So it's a Leo Family Revocable Trust. And their location is 6789 Walker Mill. Similarly, we're looking at an 8-foot proposed fence, and we also recommend approval with conditions. So it's basically the same proposal. Again, they'll be purchasing some land from the HOA and are just looking to do an 8-foot fence around the portions of the north and south, as well as the new eastern property line. Same proposed fence design. The same fencing code will apply here. We also received no public comments. And then we have the same findings, just that this would be a good way to mitigate noise and increase privacy with their location next to the sports court. So we have the same recommendations to approve with conditions, those conditions being the building permit, a building permit that states the materials design and won't exceed 8 feet, and then that the lot line adjustment should be approved prior to the approval of a building permit.
Thank you, Emma. Guess I'll invite the applicant again. If you guys want to say anything on this one? Okay. Okay, thanks. So I'll open the public hearing for this item. Any comment? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Similar to the other application, I don't have any additional questions or concerns with this. So I will go ahead and move to approve item CUP 26-010 pursuant to the conditions of approval outlined in the item in the staff report. With that, I'll move to the consent agenda. So this is approval of the administrative hearing officer minutes from today, June 3rd, 2026. On the agenda, it states how this works. The administrative hearing officer will approve the minutes of June 3rd, 2026 after the following process. The city recorder will prepare the minutes and email them to the hearing officer. The hearing officer will have 5 days to review the minutes and provide any changes to the recorder. If after 5 days there are no changes, the minutes will stand approved. If there are changes, the process will be followed until the changes are made and the hearing officer is in agreement, at which time the minutes shall be deemed approved. With that, I will move to adjourn. Thanks, everybody.